And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. And once again, it is the Barnes and Tony Show. Anthony, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing pretty well today, Brian. You know, it's nice. It's not snowing. You know, it's just raining out right now. So that's kind of cool, I guess, dude.
You know what I always crack up about? People who like see a forecast like 4 days ago, they don't update it, and they're like, yesterday they're all talking, oh, there's a nor'easter coming. We're gonna get like 3-4 inches. I'm like, have you looked at the temperature forecast? It's gonna be 39 degrees. It can't snow when it's 39.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm kind of pissed off about it because I'm looking forward to like some nice snowfall around here. You know,
I thought you were ready for baseball. Spring's in the air. No.
I mean, I'm ready for baseball, yeah, but it's okay.
How can we have baseball with snow?
Well, right now, baseball is down in Florida, dude,
or in Arizona for the WBC,
right? Or if you want to do that, sure, dude. So, I mean, you know, we don't have baseball right now, right here, dude. So we can have some snow while we still can, dude.
But what is it? Is it an overall feeling? Do you like? I don't know. You know, I'm trying to get like a understanding of what you're looking for, like what you enjoy about it at this point in the year, being that we're approaching mid-March. You know, why do you want to see snow?
Well, Brian, I mean, I don't know about you, but I feel like we've barely got any snowfall this season in terms of the winter. So, you know, I mean, although it is March, you know, there are things left to be desired in terms of having some snow on the ground, dude. I mean, I think we kind of got gypped.
But is it like you're trying to get one more like ski run in? Like, is that what it is? Or?
Not necessarily, because I mean, Vermont has plenty of snow. Connecticut does not, dude. I just like to see some snow on the ground, maybe some school cancellations, dude. Like that would be cool, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I understand it from somebody like that loves snowboarding, skiing, but if just to look at it, and then the fact that it kind of can mess up travel at times.
Just to look at it.
It's not as pleasant to go outside. I just
not
don't
as pleasant
see
to go outside.
The enjoyment. When it's snowing, yeah, it's cold. Like, I don't know. I don't know, Tony. I'm having trouble with it, honestly. I'm not even trying to give you a hard time. I'm just, like I said, if you're trying to make snowmen, if you're going sledding outside, like, I understand that. But just to like, oh, yeah, we didn't get enough snow this year. I just want to look at it. I don't know. You know?
Have you ever, like, looked at, like, the day after a big snowstorm? You ever noticed what it looks like, dude?
Yeah,
because typically it's like clear blue skies, like sun's out, reflects off the snowy white, dude. It's like a gorgeous day the next day, and like you can really just like soak in the nice cold air and enjoy like the snow. Yeah, like maybe I'll throw a couple snowballs. You know, like I said, people know I teach at SHU. School, class, out, donezo. Don't have to worry about that.
Right. But see, so okay, you want to that part, yes. It actually. It's kind of ironic that you bring that part up because my mother actually commented on Facebook, "Good morning. What's going on here? I still have school." So obviously she has the same, thought process as you in regards to that. But yeah, I get that, Tony. I really do. But other than that aspect of it, to me, it's just a complete annoyance. And I believe a certain Matthew agrees with me.
Yeah. It seems like he's got quite a few comments here. He goes, "Oh, let's go. Look at yous, the both of yous." And he says, nor'easter. Oh, Tony, come on, bud. It's springtime, bro. Chacho, go to Florida. No mas. It's flurrying in Norwalk, Tony. Just pretend.
There you go, Tony.
Now,
should we head to Norwalk?
Is it Norwalk south of here?
It is.
So what's the deal? What's the deal with that, dude? And
the winds, the weather patterns.
Yeah. He goes, we could have the sun and have the snow, Yeah, but like both together are great. You guys just don't get it, obviously. You just don't understand. So I mean, I don't want to make you understand.
I mean, in all seriousness, though, not you just playing devil's advocate. You don't get what I'm saying. How it's like if there's the benefit, the skiing, the snowball fight, the missed school. Other than that, how I could see that it's just ridiculous at this point to want it for nothing other than, oh yeah, it's here, you know? Make it make sense for me, Tony.
Make it make sense for you. Well, I mean, you don't like it. So like that's like, how is it? Like, I enjoy snow. I enjoy snow on the ground. I enjoy cold weather. I enjoy the winter. So it's like that's it.
You don't enjoy the spring?
I didn't say I don't enjoy the spring, but I'm saying like, because,
so right now you wouldn't rather have this...
because we didn't get
You're deflecting.
No, because we didn't get a big winter here.
Right.
And I'm hearing now like, oh, nor'easter to cap off the winter. I'm like, yeah, let's go, dude. Let's get some winter before we have a nice spring.
I really like, I can't get there. I hate the winter. I hate the cold. I hate the snow. And I just like manageable weather. If I want to go outside and play 18 right now,
right?
I want to be able to.
Well,
I don't want to be too
chilly.
Chilly.
Maybe you shouldn't live in the New England area then. You know?
Well, I got to be close to the Yankee Stadium, Tony. What? I mean, are you kidding?
Oh, that's fine.
Can't be far.
I mean, you can go. You know, you probably go to Jersey.
I could go to Jersey. I'm not going to Jersey, dude. Are you kidding? My mother says totally agree, Brian. So, you know, at least, you know, I think I have some support on this issue between my mom, Matthew. You seem to be the lone soldier here, Tony.
Well, there's only 2 people, dude. It's not like,
but I'm saying, give me like.
Also, isn't your mother complaining about? Doesn't she want the school closed?
She wants nice weather. She just wants no school. I mean, there's a difference.
Well, you can't have both, Mrs. Barnaby. I'm sorry.
But honestly, between I don't know, Jay, Michael, Renee, or any of them clamoring for a nor'easter, you know, midway through March or no?
Mike seemed pretty happy about it, to be stuck at the studio, honestly, and to not be able to leave, you know, sort of deal, because we snowed in. But I don't know how they feel. I mean, I feel like they, you know, Michael says he likes the seasons. I think Renee's probably in the same boat. I mean, I also enjoy the seasons, but I like a heavy winter. Heavy winter is good.
Yeah. To me, it's miserable. Like, I think the best case scenario is, you know, let's call it Florida from day after Thanksgiving, Tony, to let's say April 1st. Done. And then here the rest of the time. That's what it's all about. Matthew knows.
Sounds depressing.
What sounds so depressing? And the Jaybird says he wants sunshine in Florida. So yet another person, Tony, coming in defense. And like I said, Fort Lauderdale, here I come. Is he going to Fort Lauderdale?
I mean, I'm sure he could. Jay goes all over the place. He does what he wants. No, I don't think he's actually going.
And yeah, honestly, between golf and baseball, Tony, I have to say I'm a little disappointed in you, because I thought you were very excited about those 2 things.
Dude, I'm not saying I wasn't. Are we going golfing tomorrow? Are we going right now?
Let's go.
All right, fine.
I would go, but wait. Oh,
it's fucking
cold.
raining.
And my mom says
I would go with this temperature.
Go to North Carolina. Obviously, you know, Choker and Jennifer in a good spot right now. You know, they don't have to worry about these type of things.
Rain stopping soon, apparently, in the next
nor'easter not coming, Tony.
I know. So lame, dude.
Lock of the night.
So ridiculous.
Oh man, so that was definitely an interesting introduction, but there is a lot to discuss here, Tony. But yesterday, the unofficial start of NFL free agency, so let's start there. In the world of the National Football League,
6 for 101, 2 touchdowns. To Evans, touchdown, Tampa Bay. How about that throw? Sam Darnold blasted. Oh my goodness, did he take a hit? In trouble once, brings him down. Lost one for Odell Beckham Jr. Got it down, touchdown.
All right. So a flurry of moves coming down yesterday. The start of the legal tampering period. So many different places we could go. I guess one that really kind of popped out to me, you know, was the quarterbacks. There were 3 quarterback big moves yesterday. The biggest, I would say, dust off the soundbite, Tony. Jimmy G-Man moving on to the Las Vegas Raiders. I believe 3 years, about $87 million. Jimmy G-Man, including 32.5 guaranteed. So basically, you know, guaranteeing a season and a half, and of course, reuniting with his former offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniels, and obviously reaping the benefits of Josh Jacobs, who was recently tagged, and Devontae Adams, and not to mention Hunter Renfrow, you know, and Darren Waller, you know, provided that he's healthy. And I'll go last on this. I'm just kind of want to start with you here. Your thoughts on Jimmy G to the Las Vegas Raiders?
What was the contract?
3 years, 87 million.
Oh, okay.
32.5 guaranteed. So, like I was saying,
Right.
roughly season and a half guaranteed.
I mean, honestly, I love it. I think it's, Jimmy G really is a great quarterback. I think he's proved himself multiple times. I understand maybe not necessarily, in the postseason was he given like a good opportunity to kind of show himself, but I just think he's someone who can certainly lead a team. He is, I think, kind of like a multi-tool quarterback. I mean, he's very athletic. He can run. He can swing the ball as well. So I would say huge get for the Raiders. I mean, I think it's, a nice, change of, not that Jimmy G needed it, more for the Raiders to have, a different face at quarterback. I think is really good for them. And I think Jimmy G is a guy that, that's going to really, I think, play well, honestly.
And I want to see it. I kind of always rooted for him in a sense, just because, he was a guy that really had to kind of earn his way in the NFL, being a second round pick, and then, obviously being under Tom Brady and really not getting his chance for a while, then dealing with the injuries and dealing with the situation in San Francisco where they kind of couldn't wait to rush him out the door. And then last year he ends up playing a big part, in them reaching, the championship game. But, the injury, later on in the season, obviously hurt. And I guess that's the one thing I would say. I mean, if Jimmy G is going to start 16, 17 games, for the Raiders, I think this is a huge get. And I think, he's proven throughout the course of his career that he is a lot better than Derek Carr at, avoiding turnovers and kind of making the smart throws, the smart decisions. The health thing is the one thing that'll concern me, though. I mean, once in his career playing 16 games, which was obviously the old full season. Now we're up to 17, 11 games last year, 15 the year before, 6 the year before that. So there's been some inconsistencies there. So I think the Raiders do, I mean, virtue of, you look at what Josh Jacobs did on the ground last year, have a strong offensive line. So I think, they got to really make sure that's shored up going into the season, that they have depth, just in case there's an unforeseen injury. And so you got to think about a couple of things here, though. So I think the talent around Jimmy G is great. I mentioned all the skill players. I think the head coach is a question mark overall, but at the same time, that familiarity, I think will be huge. So you would think he will be able to garner better results than Derek Carr, did last year with Josh McDaniels. And the last part of this is just competition within the division. You think about the Chargers, you think about the Chiefs, you'd imagine the Broncos are improved as well. So that's the thing that I struggle with. And I think a camera is on its last leg, Tony.
Oh, you mother.
At least I'm on top of these things, though,
I know, dude.
So that's just the unfortunate part about this. And it's almost like I wish that, they were in a different division, because I just feel like it's so tough to think about that division and think, oh, I mean, this is a 10-11 win team. It seems like around the 500 mark will be tough. And would I be that surprised if this doesn't end up working out? No, just because I feel like we see stuff like this all the time, where, on paper it looks good, but then when we get on the field, there are certain things that prevent it from doing so. So if I had to guess, though, I'm going to go right in the middle and say, it's a 9-8, 8-9, maybe 10-7, but that seems like a stretch. And the key here, obviously, Jimmy G's health, and making it through the whole season. And one other bit of news from that division, actually, I just saw this come across my screen from yesterday, kind of on the free agency tracker. Austin Eckler, I guess he wants a new contract, so he was given permission to seek a trade. And, I don't know if it's more so, where they're going to say, oh, go seek a trade, see what contract extension you could get.
That's so stupid.
And then to kind of give him a sober, awakening that, listen, you play a position that unfortunately, you're not getting the dollars and the cents that the other positions on the field are getting. And you just kind of have to come with grips with that. And on the fact, too, that, it's easy to look at him and say he's kind of a product of the greatness of Justin Herbert. I think that is a big part of how they see things, and I'm sure the Chargers would love to keep him. But you're just kind of the summary here. It says that he is okay. That's my mistake. So he is requesting permission because preliminary talks with the team aimed at a contract extension failed to progress. He's entering the final season of a 4-year, $24.5 million contract and is scheduled to earn $6.25 million. So, I think for an upper echelon running back, that salary this year is probably a little low. Not that he's supposed to be making $20 million, but I think he should be making at least double digits. And the fact too, what he does out of the backfield, is very valuable. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Chargers navigate this too, because we've talked about this, in nauseum, really. How many times has a running back got paid that was considered the best in the game and then proven to be worth the contract extension that he got? Other than maybe Adrian Peterson, we haven't seen that work out too good. And obviously Derrick Henry to an extent, team success not too much. And he obviously 2 years ago missed time with injury. But you look at what Eckler brings to this team. Last year, he ran for 915 yards, 13 rushing touchdowns, and he also caught 107 passes out of the backfield for 722 yards and 5 touchdowns. So there is value there. So with all that value and, my kind of thought process here is they will end up working something out. I think they like, kind of the comfort level that Justin Herbert has with them. And I think the common denominator, I'm sure he would love, a 4-year, a 5-year deal with 3 years guaranteed, averaging $15-16 million. And, I don't think that's on the table, but maybe if they can work out the cap where, it could be a 2-year extension where he's making $13.5 million per year. I just think the long-term get is tough here. But what do you think, Tony? I mean, we've seen running backs be disposable. I mean, do you think at the end of the day they'll end up coming together on something here?
Yeah, I really hope so, honestly. I mean, you know about Austin Eckler, and I could see maybe the Chargers' hesitancy to maybe sign him to a long-term deal or even something that's a little bit more money for him, just because, I suppose, given Eckler's story, I believe he's undrafted.
Yes.
Right? Went to some like Division II or D3 school. Yeah. I kind of walked. I think he almost bribed his way into a practice or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to
West Colorado,
appreciate the hustle, the determination. But I'm sure the Chargers look at him like, yeah, this guy turned out to be really good, but he was never really a prospect before. Like maybe he won't be good the next season or in the future. But I don't know. I think like you said, your quarterback's very comfortable with him. He does do some great work out of the backfield. Herbert likes to throw to him. So, I mean, why wouldn't you do what you can to get him? And as of right now, I mean, he's, a tremendous story. I think the guy has proven himself that he's worth more money. I'm not exactly sure what he's looking for, but like you said, I think double digits is a reasonable ask.
I mean, would it be, maybe rip up this year's contract and then say 2 years, 28 or, 3 years, 45? Like, would you go to that length or you prefer to keep it around 2 years?
I like 3 years.
Yeah.
Why not, dude?
3 years, $45 million, and then maybe 36 guaranteed or something.
Yeah, I like that.
27. So 3 years, get to age 30. And then, I mean, it's definitely sayonara, right. Tony.
Maybe throw some incentives in there,
It just with the contracts, the devaluing of running backs. I mean, is there any solution to that problem? Because it's definitely became a big problem. We see teams shying away from drafting them in the first round. Nobody wants to give an extension. There's always holdouts, franchise tags. I mean, is there any answer to this?
Wow, that's a good question. In terms of bringing the value back up to a running back, you mean?
Yeah, or just making sure they get their money. I don't know if it's you shorten rookie contracts.
I mean, yeah, I guess you could do that, but I mean, is that necessarily fair to the rest of the? If you just do it for running backs, so you're saying?
No, I was saying just overall.
I mean, I guess you could, but I mean, I don't think owners would really like that because then they'd be paying everybody more money.
About them,
yeah. So I mean, I think it'd be kind of hard to do. I don't know, dude. I think it's just kind of tough. I think it's just an unfortunate circumstance for running backs. I mean, like you said, a lot of these running backs, the wear and tear. You lead on a run back for a few years, and they end up getting hurt or just getting worn out and not being as effective. I don't know. I think it's tough. You see, I mean, look at Ezekiel Elliott, I guess, as an example.
Right.
I mean, he's someone who was just so dominant, and now he's kind of living in the shadow of Tony Pollard right now. So I mean, it's pretty tough to ask for these long, I guess, expensive contracts. And I think that's just it is what it is right now. I guess maybe until like a running back comes onto the scene who's, I guess, a little bit more versatile and can be someone who can run downfield for a pass or someone who can be used as a blocker. I don't know, man. I think it's going to be kind of tough. I think maybe, like I said, a running back who maybe can kind of reinvent the position can come along and kind of, revalue the position.
Because I mean, and Eckler is a guy who's basically a wide receiver, so that's why it's tough. Plus, I mean, I'm just saying, if I was running a franchise, I think other than maybe a guy that's been, in our organization for a while as a rotational running back that doesn't command a lot of money, maybe then I would re-sign him. Maybe your third down change of pace guy, but even if a guy, let's say he's a record-setting running back, well, then he's going to want to be record-setting paid as well. And I just don't think I could do it. And then I also just think back to, recent Super Bowl champs. I mean, how about the last two, Tony, starting running backs for the last two Super Bowl champions? Last year, Jerick McKinnon, 31 years old, 3 ACL injuries. What's he making? $2 million. Sony Michel, he was the Rams starting running back. He's not even on the team anymore. Got cut before training camp by the Miami Dolphins.
Wow.
This isn't, Derrick Henry is not leading the Titans to a Super Bowl anytime soon. And I think that's why you've seen, there's rumors that Nick Chubb could possibly get moved, Dalvin Cook. It doesn't make sense. You could always draft one every single year. You could get a middle round running back. So would you agree with me, though, that if you were the head of a franchise, that you would kind of have that rule that we're not giving extensions to running backs?
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah. I would say that.
I just love the thought of drafting one. And then, two, you're drafting one, the legs. You know what I mean? There's so much more burst. I mean, it makes so much more sense. So going to be interesting to see kind of how they navigate that. There were some rumors earlier this offseason that Derrick Henry could get traded as well. And I think Dallas was interested, obviously assuming, a Zeke cut and then, Pollard working his way back from the injury. That would be interesting. So a bunch of news to go over here. I guess we could start with yesterday, the 49ers making news, signing quarterback Sam Darnold to a one-year contract. So this is an interesting move for San Francisco. They get Darnold, who played last year with Carolina and, did decent, but obviously hasn't lived up to the billing of a number 3 overall pick. And we saw his struggles with the Jets. So I think there's some hope on their end that, Coach Kyle Shanahan can kind of rectify his career. And I have to say, I am a huge fan of this move. I know the mastery that Kyle Shanahan brings on offense. And I think if anybody can fix Sam Darnold, it's him. And then you think about Brock Purdy is going to miss at least the first couple of weeks of the season because of that UCL injury. We saw how poor Trey Lance played before he broke his ankle last year. So it's like, what's he going to look like coming back from that injury? I'm telling you, Tony, I don't think it's that crazy to say that I could see Sam Darnold winning a playoff game for the 49ers.
Very interesting how the narrative changes a little bit.
What do you think?
No, I could agree more. Like you said, I think a lot is to be said with him being under Shanahan. We saw Shanahan's creativity, with the 49ers countless years in terms of offensive execution, I will say. And then, like you mentioned, Sam Darnold, yes, had a decent season there, with the Panthers. And, Darnold is in a very precarious situation, being that 3rd overall pick and then, absolutely just bombing with the Jets and then the quarterback controversy in Carolina, even with Baker for a little bit, who's going to be the starter. But I think he kind of rose above all those ashes. And now you see him to be a part of an organization of the 49ers, I think he's going to continue to grow, continue to improve his game as well. I mean, I think he has a great squad around him. And like you said, he's certainly going to get the playing time. So I really can't see him being anything other than successful with the 49ers.
And just to give you an idea, last year for Carolina, he had 6 games played, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 92 rating, completion percentage, 58.6. Obviously, that's a little low, but then again, other than DJ Moore, there really wasn't an impact wide receiver on Carolina last year. QBR was 48.5, which was actually the highest of his career. So I think there are some positives. He is only 25. And I just, I mean, I know I might be premature on this, but I really just don't see how Trey Lance is going to be a successful NFL quarterback. I think he's missed too much time. When you really think about, last year being his second year, didn't play much his first year, his second year, or his last year at college because of COVID. I think he played 1 game. So I just think he hasn't had enough reps. And then the fact is when he has had reps, he's looked like a deer in headlights, and part of his game was running. He's coming back from an ankle injury. And then we saw how well Brock Purdy played. I just don't see how this team could really want him to be the future quarterback. I could be wrong, but that's just kind of how I feel about this.
Yeah, but do you think they're going to give him like a shot at least? No?
Well, I think let's see it in practice. And I don't even know if he could show it in practice. Honestly, I really don't. Now let's say, we know Purdy's going to miss the first couple of games. I mean, do you give Darnold a decent shot to contend for that starting role with Lance, or do you think or would you almost take him over? Or do you think it's just a coin toss?
I don't know. I mean, I think as of right now, I would be leaning towards Brock Purdy, honestly, before Darnold.
Right, but he'll miss the first maybe 4 or 5 games.
Right. So
yeah,
Darnold has the advantage there in terms of who. When it comes time to choose, so because you'll be seeing obviously Darnold beginning of the season here, and I would easily obviously take him over Lance at this point too. So I think you gotta kind of evaluate what Darnold can give you to start off the season, and then kind of adjust accordingly, I suppose, right?
Yeah. This news just came across. Jacoby Myers, the former New England Patriots wide receiver, 3 years, $33 million to the Las Vegas Raiders, and this includes $21 million guaranteed. And this doesn't come of any surprise to me. Myers, 26 years old, and actually played at NC State. Last year had a career high 804 receiving yards, 6 touchdowns. And I'm almost surprised at the price tag on this one, because I know that there was a common sentiment, and this is why DeAndre Hopkins has so much value in a trade, where he's the top receiver out there. And he's a 2-3 receiver, and I had heard that he wanted 16-17 million dollars a year. So to get him for 11 million per season, and then only 21 million guaranteed, I think is a good thing. And you think about how that adds to the depth of this Raider wide receiver core, provided everyone's going to be back. I mean, Adams 1, Renfro 2, Myers 3, and then Darren Waller with Josh Jacobs. I mean, that's a pretty potent attack. So I think this is a really good move for the Las Vegas Raiders. We'll obviously, of course, have to see how it plays out. One that hit hard to home yesterday, Mike White, signing with the Miami Dolphins, 2 years, 60. 60. That's gonna be a bite. But anyway, 2 years, $16 million. So Mike White staying in the AFC East, but going to the Miami Dolphins. And I think, and I'm kind of curious what you think, Tony, but I think this is a perfect situation for Mike White. We know about the injury risk with Tua, and the fact, too, you think about what he was working with the Jets, to walk into Miami, to have Jalen Waddle, to have Mike Gesicki, to have Tyreek Hill, to have the really good chance of Tua getting injured. And of course, I don't want the Dolphins to be good, and it would be tough to lose Mike White, and then he's pretty good. But I think he has a chance to flourish in Mike McDaniel's system. What do you think?
Yeah, it seems like another former Jet quarterback that's going to be flourishing for another team here next season. Like you mentioned, again, just like Sam Darnold too, I do think Mike White is going to have a lot of opportunity to be a starting quarterback in Miami. As much as I hate to say it, Tua, I mean, those concussions are really tough to deal with. And he is clearly injury prone as well. And it's going to be a shame to say, but I don't think Tua has much left in his career.
I mean, he has to get lucky to just not get hit.
He has to just really not get hit, because if that man gets another concussion, I would imagine like doctors are going to be like, you can't play anymore, dude. Like, he had 2 concussions last season within like a week, right? Like, it was brutal, and it's not good. And these are like, it wasn't like like borderline concussion, maybe just a headache. Like, talking about like some serious like injury there to the head. So I mean, like I said, I think Mike White's going to have a lot of opportunity to play. And hey, man, I mean, he's got a lot of great offensive tools. We know how bolstered the Miami's defense seems too.
Right.
So I mean, Mike White, again, someone who not only given the opportunity to the people around him, but he's also a good quarterback. We've seen what he can do in terms of slinging the ball. He's gritty. He can take hits. We saw him take some brutal hits last season for the Jets.
Started a game with broken ribs.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's gritty. He can be a quarterback that could rally a team, that could lead the team. He has the ability, the mindset. So, great job, Mike White, going to Miami, huh?
I don't think Matthew is a fan of the move.
No? What do you say? Let's see. Oh wow, we got a lot. Okay, dude. Ha. Barnes, that was hilarious. I'm so tight, Mike White traitor. LOL. Can't root for him again now. Go to Miami. How are you? Come on, Mr. White, he says. I mean, hey, dude, I mean, if the Jets wanted him, they could have kept him, right?
Yeah, they could have kept him. Plus, I mean, I could understand, I mean, with the Aaron Rodgers move to the Jets imminent, I mean, there's really not an opportunity to play. And then it really seems imminent? Like they want to, keep Zach Wilson. So really just not an opportunity. He doesn't want to be a third-string quarterback, and they're not going to pay him $8 million to be a third-string quarterback.
Yeah.
And speaking of the move being imminent, right before we started today, no deal done yet, but I guess the Jets are closing in on Allen Lazard, the former Packer wide receiver. Aaron Rodgers' top target last season. So obviously, you connect the dots, and Lazard, playing under Jet offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett. It would seem like this is another thing pointing Rodgers to the Jets, but for some reason he has to make us all sweat it the hell out, Tony. But what are we going to do? And it's interesting. I think they just released Corey Davis yesterday, if I'm not mistaken.
The Jets did?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Barrios gone. So they're reworking that wide receiver room. But if you think about, having Garrett Wilson, having Allen Lazard, having Elijah Moore, and then maybe Denzel Mims, but I don't know, if he's going to hang around. But still, that's a pretty solid top 3 receivers. And then to get Rodgers a receiver that he's comfortable with. I mean, we'll see what the terms of the deal are, but I think it's a no-brainer just to really make this transition seamless going from Green Bay to New York.
Correct, dude.
How come you seem to find that funny?
Well, just like, we'll see what happens, dude.
I mean, what is in all seriousness, not that Tony, I'm just making something up. What is the other thing that you could see happening where he doesn't go to the Jets? Like, you honestly, I just don't think deep down you think he's going to retire. So you're saying mystery team?
I think deep down he can retire, dude. I mean, I think he was pretty close to doing it last season.
Brady Hall of Fame weekend, though. You can't.
What does that even? No, I don't think so, dude.
The diva that Aaron Rodgers is.
Yeah.
You're telling me he wants to share a Hall of Fame weekend with Tom Brady? Absolutely not. No chance whatsoever.
Retirement, dude. I'm telling you. Dude, and it's funny because Michael even reminded me of it yesterday, too, of the whole debacle that went on the entire offseason last year with Aaron Rodgers. The Instagram, the not showing up the training camp, the going out, like whatever vacation is on, playing guitar in the woods, dude. Like,
but there is something I did hear on the radio. I'm telling you, within the next day or two, this is going to be official, because there was something where they had to trade him at a certain point so that he gets his bonus and the Jets aren't on the hook for it, or I don't know, something contractually. So I do think, by the end of this week, this will get done. So I'm really not.
Then they probably would have said that, though.
No, because it just, I don't know, just technicalities. I'm telling you.
It sounds like Aaron Rodgers is saying that no one else knows what. It seems like Aaron Rodgers hates everyone reporting on this. I don't know if you.
Well, yeah, because everyone's.
If you're not in my inner circle, you don't know what you're talking about.
He wants to be the one to break the story.
Yeah.
So. But we'll be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
I know it's coming soon, and obviously we know Trey Wingo reported that it's a done deal yesterday. The former ESPN employee.
Wow, dude.
Another quarterback move, and I think this came down this morning. The Atlanta Falcons signing Taylor Heineke, the former Washington Commanders starting quarterback. 2 years, $20 million. So I guess up to $20 million with incentives. And supposedly Atlanta is going into training camp with the mindset that Desmond Ridder, the second-year quarterback out of Cincinnati, will be the starting quarterback with Heineke backing him up. I was not impressed with Ridder when he got into game action last year. I thought he, was a good college quarterback. I'm not sure how that's going to translate in the NFL. You look at his action last year. I mean, the last time he did play against Tampa, last week of the season, and Brady sat out the second half. They won 30-17, 224, 2 touchdowns, no picks, but those were his only 2 touchdowns of the year. The other starts, were not great. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, but I would think at this point, I think this is year 3 of Arthur Smith.
Wow.
Atlanta wants to win. And I heard an interview with Mad Dog and Arthur Blank before the Super Bowl. And I just got the sense that, he's ready to win, and I don't think they want to waste, another season here. So that would be my guess. But I guess we'll see what happens, right, Tony?
Yeah. I mean, I guess what can you do besides just wait,
But yeah,
Falcons good move though, I would say.
Yeah,
with Heineke.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a lot of money. So I just think at the end of the day, it makes a lot of sense.
He brings the energy,
The Jets also re-signed Greg Zerloin, so they bring back their kicker. 30 of 37 on field goals last year.
Yeah,
also known as Legatron. 7 is kind of a lot. I mean, obviously they always have him kick it from distance.
Yeah. What do you know the distances that he missed?
We could go a breakdown here.
Let's do a little breakdown. I mean, you're talking about him. Dude.
Oh, and then the Bears, by the way, Tremaine Edmonds. He's only 25 years old. His brother plays. I think he was on the. Jeez, I actually got to look this up. I want to say Bills.
Tremaine
Edmonds. Okay, the Bears, and he was on the Bills. He got a 4-year, $72 million deal. So that's been kind of like the marquee signing up to this point.
Pretty solid.
Yeah. So the Bears having a really good offseason. You think about, that big trade, bringing in DJ Moore. So I think that's a great move on their end. Let's see here. Zerloin. Football reference. And then speaking of former Ram kickers, Matt Gay signing with the Indianapolis Colts. I want to say they had McLaughlin last year, so they take Matt Gay, who really had a good year 2 years ago. I think last year was a little inconsistent, as well as the entire Rams team. All right, so Zerloin last year, he was 6 of 11 from 50 yards. So if you take out the 50-yard field goals, he missed 2 from, I guess it would be 49 and in. So I think that's pretty good.
Bad.
I mean, it's tough to really be that, like, if you're doing high volume, I mean, are you really going to make 80% of your 50-yard field goals? I mean, so I like the chance that, you feel comfortable having him kick it from 60. So I think that's fine. I think it's a solid move. It's not like you had to break the bank for it. And I was just trying to see if there was really anything else. Jameis Winston restructuring his deal to stay with New Orleans. That one surprised me because I thought he would be looking to go somewhere where he had a chance to play. But I mean, behind Derek Carr with that new contract, I mean, where's the opportunity?
You think he's banking on Carr not doing well?
Maybe, I guess. But to me, it just seems like a weak move. But I guess, we'll have to see.
I feel like he's just a loyal guy,
Or is he lazy? Who knows?
I mean, he doesn't seem lazy.
Former Pro Bowl cornerback Patrick Peterson, a 2-year deal with the Steelers. So their former lockdown corner, went to LSU, also known as DB University. Was with Minnesota the last couple of years after starting his career in Arizona. So of course, at one point, was the consensus best cornerback in the league. Obviously, as the years have gone on, he's not at that level. But at the same time, the production is still there. 5 interceptions last year, 32 years old. So obviously the age is a little bit of a concern, but anytime you're going to give a team 5 interceptions, they're going to sign up for that. And you would imagine in that Steeler defense, obviously always, one of the better ones in the league. you'd expect him to be productive. The Eagles lost a lot of guys yesterday, including Javon Hargrove, 4 years, $84 million, including $40 million guaranteed. Career high 11 sacks for the Eagles. So he moves to San Francisco. That's another move. I mean, you think about him lining up next to Joey Bosa. The 49ers always seem to get it right. And then we had actually the 49ers losing Mike McGlinchey, the right tackle, going to the Denver Broncos. So Sean Payton picking up some protection for Russell Wilson. Jason Kelce announcing he will return. So the Kelce family, one of Tony's favorites, Jason Kelce was thinking of retiring, but he will come back, $13.5 million to stay in Philadelphia. I'm seeing some rumors here too. The Broncos are considering trading a wide receiver, specifically Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, and KJ Hamler. I had heard the Giants may be linked to Jeudy. I definitely like that move for them. We'll see if they can make anything happen. And I know, I mean, that's pretty much, I mean, we obviously covered, a lot of moves. But that's really the big news items that came across my screen yesterday, and obviously anything further that comes across while we're on, and of course tomorrow we will bring it to you. But NFL free agency in full swing, and obviously we're just waiting for that big domino to fall with Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets. But we will keep you posted there. But Tony, let's go now to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here's Matthews, scores at goal.
My goodness, this is a great shot. Big hit on the far side by the car. He flattens Jordan's skull. Oh my goodness. That's the top right back. Terrifying and robbed by Shesterkin. That's brilliant from Igor Shesterkin. It's a breakaway to win it in overtime. McDavid scores the winner in overtime.
All right. So short night on the ice last night. Of course, though, we are excited that the Rangers are back in action tonight. Nationally televised game, ESPN, Ovechkin, Kane, Zibanejad, Shesterkin. Tony is ready. And Darcy Kemper, dude. Darcy Kemper, Tony. Yeah. I feel like you flip-flopped on Darcy a little bit. Like, started hard, like, bad year. Now, recently, I think you're a little more positive.
Oh, yeah. No, honestly, like, he's been posting some great numbers for the Capitals. Of course, the Capitals have been trying hard to lose, it seems, especially when Ovechkin was out. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, the reason why we were just so hard on Darcy, just because of last year, the Avalanche, I mean, hiding behind that type of offense, I feel like maybe his I guess expertise or level of play was a little hidden just because the Avalanche just fucking scored so much, and there were games where Darcy let up a lot of goals. So I don't know, I just think that was a big question mark, but I mean, way to rise to the occasion for the Capitals here. You want to kind of preview this game a little bit. I think it's going to be a tough game in the Rangers tonight. There's also an alternative broadcast for this game, and we'll get into that afterwards. It's totally whack, dude. It's so stupid. They're trying to do like how NFL does the slime Nickelodeon shit. Yeah. It's so weak, this one, dude. And ESPN is fucking with hockey now. Like, stop it.
Have you noticed? Because I don't know. I guess I haven't too closely paid attention. Did they make any changes to how last year there was a lot of qualms about the presentation and the camera angles? Have you noticed any differences?
I think there's a little bit less of that, but still some of it, sort of deal.
Okay.
But kind of looking forward into this game. It's actually funny. I would just shout out to Molly Walker on Twitter. She's like the beat reporter for the New York Post, and she covers a lot of the Rangers here. Tweeted out the Rangers lines at morning skate this morning. So I have our 4 lines here. First line is Panarin, Zibanejad, Tarasenko. Second line, Kreider, Trocheck, Kane. Third line is Lafreniere, Hedl, Kakko. Fourth line, VC, Goudreau, and then Tyler Mott. Pretty interesting, I guess, line combinations here from Gallant. I mean, you would expect that Kane and Panarin is kind of a no-brainer there to be together. So that first line to be, Panarin, a better job Tarasenko. I understand, Tarasenko, obviously kind of, I suppose, having a higher level of play since he's been with the Rangers, kind of adjusting to the team and to the strategy out on the ice. But I mean, again, like Kane and Panarin, the biggest selling point for Kane and the Rangers was the fact that he would be paired up with Panarin again, like they were in Chicago. Why wouldn't you have that? And I just think like Tarasenko to be pushed down with Trocheck and Kreider. I mean, you're talking about, Kreider and Trocheck, two players who are just so chippy out on the ice, and then to have Tarasenko to be your skill player, I feel like that would just be a better line combo. And I will say for the rest of the two, keeping the kid line, I suppose, is good. Lafreniere, Hito, and Kakko. That I suppose now is solid. But again, I think you should swap Tarasenko and Kane. See how that goes. And if you need to, then if there's still issues, then you can start, breaking up that kid line. I will say fourth line, I'd absolutely love. Jimmy Vesey, someone who I've been talking about since he come back to the Rangers. Someone who's just been skating so well. Has terrific vision out on the ice, understands his role as well. And then Gaudreau, again, those two players I think that can be physical. Gaudreau has been, I think, one of the more consistent forwards, I think, for the Rangers this season. And then Tyler Mott is someone who, I suppose can benefit with being on a line from those two guys. I'm not too high on Tyler Mott, but I think that fourth line, to be honest, I think they're going to be pretty key in this game against the Capitals, just because I kind of question this line combination. The chemistry with the rest of the team. I understand, you have so much talent on those first two lines. And I love the Kreider Trocheck combo. It'd be interesting to see how Kane bodes with them. It could work. It could not. I think against a team like the Capitals, it could prove to be kind of tough to test these sort of things. But, you expect to have Shesterkin have a good night out on the ice. And then, on the Capitals side, again, you understand Ovechkin's capabilities. I mentioned yesterday his ability to just take control of a game, basically by himself. Is pretty good, and it's honestly really scary. But nonetheless, I mean, you look at these two teams. They have faced, twice this season already. The Capitals beating the Rangers in both of those games. One of them was late February, so maybe 2-3 weeks ago. Caps won 6-3, and then late December, Caps won 4-0 in that shutout. Again, Darcy Kemper kind of showcasing what he could do against a team like the Rangers. Of course, a little bit of a different team here since the first game, but still they lost 6-3, not too long ago. So that's like really, really tough. And, you kind of dive a bit more deeper into that game. It was a Shesterkin game in which he got pulled for giving up 5 goals on 22 shots. Not great. Halak did come in and he let up a goal on 5 shots. So I mean, really a tough showing for the Rangers goaltenders in that game. You expect, something like that not to happen before, but I mean, it's a little tough. I mean, again, you look at these matchups historically this season. I mean, how could you be super confident in the Rangers beating the Capitals when we basically got mollywopped by them twice? It's super tough. And the Rangers, huge homestand. Brian mentioned it yesterday. 5-game homestand here. Super tough. I mean, again, you look at some stats here. New York has gone against the Metropolitan Division. I believe they're 8-7-2 against Metropolitan Divisional opponents. And I think one of the keys here maybe is capitalizing the power play. I feel like the power play is something that been kind of hit or miss, I think, in recent games. But Rangers have an 18-5-2 record in games they convert on at least one of their power play opportunities.
Renizzi.
So, I mean,
coming in hot.
Super good stat there
Are you gonna
for the Rangers. Yeah, I get. You want to write it down?
Yeah, write it down.
48.
We want Renee on a bite.
Really?
Yeah. She's due for her own bite though, too.
I know. Well, she's got to get in there, man.
Well, you should have clipped something from when she was on Screen Time the other day. No.
Well, she's got to say something like funny or interesting.
You're telling me she didn't say one thing that was funny. I mean, you might have been zoning out. Mets spring training box score. Come on, Tony.
Nah, I don't think so, dude. I'm dialed in Screen Time, bud. Anywho, dude. I mentioned, the third time these two teams are playing. I mean, obviously, who the hot players in the Capitals are. You know about Ovechkin, obviously. Tom Wilson, 5 goals and 2 assists in the past 10 games. TJ Oshie, Brian's favorite guy.
He's back.
17 goals, 13 assists for the Capitals. I believe he is. He wasn't on the IR list.
No, I meant back to like his high performing ways.
I don't know about highest performing, but
mediocre.
Better than
Average.
what we've seen, yes, from him. Speaking of the IR, John Carlson on the IR for the Caps, as well as Connor Brown. So missing a defenseman and a right winger that they do rely on. So pretty interesting. You'll see if Sonny Milano plays, but I don't know, dude. I mean, it's just one of those games that you find to be pretty tough to really have a lot of confidence in the Rangers. Making for Darcy. Nothing's been confirmed yet.
I would imagine that's the matchup though.
No, totally gonna be the matchup. I just want to double check. Washington Capitals, bang down here, line combos, Sonny Milano. Yeah, they have them up there, but on the okay. Still day to day, so nothing's been out considered in terms of injuries and stuff for the Washington Capitals. On Sonny Milano anyway, but I guess we'll kind of see. I don't know, Brian. How are you feeling about this game?
Well, I think it's a little ridiculous, and I understand, just how things work. You're always going to give the advantage to the home team, but Rangers have actually been a better road team this year, and they lost the previous 2 games to the Capitals, but yet they're minus 170.
Pretty crazy.
I hate that, and I can't base my feelings on a line that's set by some bookmakers, but that's a little odd to me. But then again, maybe that's what they want you to think. Oh, well, I mean, they lost the previous 2 times, minus 170. No way. Oh, the Capitals with the juice. But like we know, even though the Capitals have been playing better hockey, obviously, once Ovechkin returned, we know the Rangers are the better team. It's just what version of the Rangers are going to show up. And I just want to get to a point where we don't have to ask that question, where we could be confident night in, night out. And is it just me? I don't know if I'm being too harsh of a critic here, but it feels like it's been a couple months since they've had that stretch where dominant performances, 4, 5, stringing 6, 7 in a row. It seems like it's been a very long time. It's kind of a seesaw the last couple of months.
I really probably since I mean, you could really argue since like the All-Star break.
Right.
I mean, they were coming in hot off the All-Star break, but to have let's get like 5 games in a row where we're just dominating, dude.
It's averaging 5 goals a
game. Yeah, it hasn't really been happening, which is really annoying. Again, I mean, we can look at their scores here.
I mean, right, I think 4 goals the last 2 games. I know that.
Yeah, 4 goals the last 2 games. Obviously, one of them being a dub, and then
both being overtime games too. So that's really pathetic.
Yeah, and the game before that, they beat the Canadiens in a shootout.
Yeah.
They scored 4 on them though. That's solid. 2 games scored 2 games. Scored 2 goals in a loss against the Bruins, 3 goals in a loss against the Senators, 3 goals in overtime. Win against the Flyers, and then before that, there's a nice 5-goal game against the Kings, but then you lose 6-3 against the Capitals, and you lose 4-1 against the Red Wings. You lose 4-1 against the Jets. You lose 3-2 against the Flames. I mean, really, the last time. Okay, all right. Beginning of February, back-to-back days, February 10th, 11th, you beat the Kraken, then the Hurricanes, back-to-back 6-goal games, and then 2 days later, another 6-goal game against the Canucks. But literally, and then you beat the Oilers 5-4 in the shootout. But then after that, it's been absolute dog shit. Basically, since the second week of February.
And we're in the second week of March.
Yeah, so basically for the past month here, you really have not been playing that well, scoring as much as you should, defending as much as you should. It's just, kind of like what I was saying before, we took the points in the road trip we just had, but there's just still so much work that you could be done,
And like, I know I get crazy with these hypothetical questions sometimes, Tony, but I'm not like anticipating this. Obviously, I don't want this to happen, but let's just say hypothetically they go 0-5 on the homestand. Would they fire Gallant? Honestly,
no.
You really don't think that would even cross the table?
No. People will probably be talking about it and asking about it. People, but would the Rangers fire Gallant just then and there? No.
Jimmy, though, we've seen him. He gets triggered.
I don't think. I mean, honestly, dude, if they fire, I would like the Gallant fire if Chris Drury, interim head coach.
That's interesting. Former Ranger.
What
team?
Current GM.
No, I know he's the current GM, but I'm saying when did he play? Was it?
Oh, geez, dude. Early to mid 2000s.
Okay, so it was just before the cup run.
I think it was quite literally just before.
But I know he's been in place for a little bit here.
Yeah.
You think he's more focused on Colony?
No, dude, he's never even there anymore. It's bogus. I've always wanted to see him there. Yeah, last year was 2010, 2011.
Literally right before. That's tough.
I know, right?
He was there for the dog days.
But geez, gritty player, dude.
Yeah. Trumbull, Connecticut, too.
I didn't know he was from Trumbull.
That's crazy.
I figured he was from Connecticut, but I didn't.
Stone's throw from Monroe.
Wow, dude. Wow. Think about that. That's what he probably left because there was no nightlife, dude. That's what it was.
So are you going with the Rangers here for your first pick, or what are we doing?
That's a very good question here.
You're nervous.
Yeah, you're fucking nervous, dude.
It's a 1-point game too, by the way. So
I know, dude. Win. So I don't think I am right now, dude. I think I'm gonna go with a different game.
Wow.
Well, yeah, dude. I mean, this is not the time
You're just
to
breaking
act.
tradition.
I know, but it's not the time to act on emotion. Okay. This is time
You're
to
just
use
gonna take him in like 2
the head above your shoulders. Yeah, depending on how you go, maybe how I feel.
Maybe I'll take him next pick.
Okay. Will you?
I don't know. I guess we'll
see. Dude, just look at these games here. Crazy, dude. There's some crazy upsets that could happen. I feel like the Islanders over the Kings right now may be a good take. Bless you.
Thanks.
You hear that?
Yeah. I don't know I really couldn't tell you what that was.
The beeping and then the hit?
Yeah.
Sound like a car accident.
Yeah.
Tough. That's crazy, dude. I'm inclined to get up, but I also want to make my pick. And my first pick will be Dallas Stars over the Vancouver Canucks. A nightcap, 10 o'clock there in Vancouver. Dallas only minus 140. I understand Vancouver Canucks on a 4-game winning streak. And they did beat the Stars later in February, 5-4 overtime. But honestly, dude, I don't know. Stars coming off back-to-back wins over the Seahawks, beating Buffalo, the 10-goal game. We know that, dude. The Kraken, rather. Sorry. Football.
Just making sure.
Dude, the free agency frenzy is crazy, dude.
Yeah, right? Do we bring this? No.
Kuzmenko just had a 2-goal game, too. Relying on one guy a lot, obviously. And Pedersen, So I don't know, dude. I feel like give me Dallas here. Only minus 140 for Dallas. I don't think so, dude. On the road. It's because it's on the road. It's on the road. So because it's on the road. And I'll double check, the fucking starting goalies here. Double check. Just stand by. Hold on. Jersey, Canes, Predators, Blackhawks, Oilers, Coyotes, Canucks. Jake Oettinger unconfirmed. Thatcher, Demko on the slot there. Unconfirmed. I mean, Demko, come on, dude. The goaltender is just not there for the Canucks. Give me Dallas here. I say they win 5-2. Dallas win. Tony's happy.
Wow.
Right?
I mean, a little surprised. How about I just saw this from Market Rebellion, and I just checked on my phone. Bitcoin up to 26K and is up over 15% the past 24 hours. So market heating up due to the SVB failure. So just had to get that in there.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm pumped. I was just seeing if we had any NFL news on Twitter, but nothing coming across the screen just yet. But that being said, Tony, I am going to take the Rangers, so I know I was kind of, saying, oh, well, it doesn't look good, this, that, but my whole thing is just get the job done. We talked already about what they need to do. Of course it starts in net with Shesterkin. He's got to be on his game because Ovechkin at any point could score 3 goals. That's a distinct possibility.
5 goals, dude.
So you want him on his game. You want him sharp early, and I want 2 goals in the first period. Let's go. Instead of like the, moping around, clawing together 1 just before the horn at the end of the first. Let's get at least 2. Let's have a clear advantage. I just feel like it's been so long since the Rangers have had a hot start and just coasted. It really has been a long time. This is the game on ESPN. Everybody watching the alternate broadcast on Disney Plus, Tony. I think there's some extra motivation there. So let's see Patrick Kane with 2 goals and an assist. Artie Panarin is 21st. And we're going to say 4-2 Rangers over the Capitals.
Love it, dude. Love it, love it. Love it, dude. You kicked yourself out. I'm sorry, Brian. You all right?
Say that again?
I said you kicked yourself out. I said, I'm sorry. The cable.
Oh, yeah. No, what do you need on camera? Me getting under the table?
No, well, then you started talking, so I wasn't going to cut away. Anyway, Another game, honestly, that's minus 190, pretty close odds here. Golden Knights against the Flyers at home. I mean, give me the Golden Knights. I feel like this should be a shoe-in victory for them. I really don't know why they're only minus 190.
Trap.
Excuse me. No, there's no traps here, buddy.
You're deflecting.
Why? What do you mean? I'm talking about
you
it.
just said, though, I don't know why. Whenever you say that, that means it's a trap.
I don't think so. Felix Sandstorm. Carter Hart isn't even starting.
Yeah.
Felix Sandstorm, who is 1-9-1 in the season, 3.3 goals against on average, 888 save percentage.
Yeah, but how quick is Jonathan at this point, honestly?
How quick is Jonathan? Well, he's boasting somewhat more stats like that, but 2 shutouts in the season. And I feel like, maybe a little bit resurgence there in Vegas. I mean, look at his last game, gave up 3 goals. Actually, hold on. His last game, was Saturday, 3-11 against Carolina, where they beat them 4-0, and he had 33 saves for a shutout.
Yeah. I mean, every squirrel finds a nut, right?
Anyway, give me the the Knights here. I'd say again, like pretty decisive. They just beat Carolina 4-0. Are you kidding me, dude? I mean, this could get kind of ugly. I'm gonna say, I don't know, 6-2. 6-2.
6-2.
6-2.
I'm gonna go with a little layup here. In honor of March Madness, kind of starting today. I mean, you got the start of the first 4 Dayton, Ohio, as well as some NIT games, but obviously who's paying attention to those. And I'm gonna go with the Bruins over the Blackhawks. And I think, did they just lose to the Red Wings, the Bruins?
Yeah.
The other day. But it's just one of those things. It doesn't matter. And I think the Blackhawks actually beat the Bruins, because remember we were talking about how they were like minus 600, and then I think they won that game, but then lost the next. Whatever the case is, Pastrnak, recently signed that extension. But you look at the Bruins. I mean, it's been a season of dominance, and sitting as the only 50-win team in the NHL.
The fastest in history to 50 wins.
That is true. And I'm mistaken that they lost to a different team, but they did last time they played back in, I guess it would be, November, 6-1. They beat the Blackhawks. So Bruins, they did lose 2 out of their last 3 games. Blackhawks have lost 4 out of 5.
Trap game.
No trap here. Boston minus 455. But give me Pastrnak, 4 goals, 5-1 Blackhawks. Bruins over the Blackhawks. You can't change it.
All right, how many are we doing here?
4.
And this is my 3rd.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. Okay. Dude, you know what? Give me the fucking Jets tonight on the road against the Hurricanes. Andrei Svechnikov out indefinitely, knee injury.
Oh my God.
3rd leading goal scorer on the team, and I think, or maybe 3rd leading point scorer on the team, something like that.
That's what Nikas and Aho are for.
Yeah. Okay, buddy. I mean, they got to be. I mean, this is it, dude. This is a perfect fucking game to take the Jets. Carolina's minus 205, dude. Like, how crazy is that? So give me the Jets here on the road. I mean, I think there's going to be some adjustment period for the Hurricanes. Svechnikov out. I mean, that is huge. That really is huge. That's huge for the Rangers in the postseason, dude. Out indefinitely. You don't know what's going on right now. So, I mean, I know you never wish injury upon another player, but that, Hurricanes face the Rangers, you're feeling a little bit better with no Svechnikov. I'm telling you right now. And on the Jets tonight, I'm feeling pretty good about it too. So give me the Jets in a close one, 3-2.
Interesting. I think that's a little dicey.
No,
Svechnikov is great. I mean, let's be real. But luckily for them, they have Kochkinov, who I think will do a good job in net. Anyway, Tony,
gosh,
3rd pick. I mean, this is going to be a 4-0 night for me. Those don't come around too often.
Anderson's likely for the Hurricanes.
Anderson, who I think let up 4 goals in his last start.
Yikes, dude.
Really, just I don't understand it with Anderson. I know last year was decent, but anyway, give me the Oilers over the Senators.
No.
McDavid, give him 3 goals here at home, getting the home crowd riled. All 3 assists from his buddy Leon Draisaitl. Stuart Skinner pitching the shutout. 4-0 Oilers over the Senators as Edmonton picks up its 37th victory of the season because they will not have trouble scoring versus Mads Sogard. Just saying it like it is.
Oh yeah, probably right.
What are you munching on over there?
Bonitza, Michael Broderick, dude, so good. It is so good. I gotta stop munching on while I'm on microphone here. Anyway, final pick of the night for me.
Yeah.
So you, I need to take the Bruins.
Rangers, Bruins, Oilers. You have Stars, Golden Knights, Jets.
Take another dog in the Red Wings, dude. Yeah, okay. Give me the Red Wings tonight on the road. Another underdog. Tight underdog. Nashville's only minus 155 here. I say Detroit coming hot off that win off the Bruins. They beat the Predators the only other time they faced them too this season. Late November, they beat them 3-0. And the Preds on a 2-game win streak right now, but they took LA to a shootout. They took Anaheim to overtime. I just feel like they're going to be tired legs too. Those 2 long games. Taking 2, at least Anaheim is a bad team. Taking them to overtime. I mean, I think Detroit is going to have some fun tonight. Shutout maybe, but I would say end of the game score here is going to be Detroit 4-1. Larkin with a goal, 2 assists. Husso, maybe like a 32-33 save night, just solid Husso, solid Detroit. And, Matt Duchene not looking so happy over there for Nashville. Only 19 goals on the season for him. That's a shame, dude. But yeah. Tony, 4-0. Let's go.
4-0 for me. Last pick. Who else would I take other than the San Jose Sharks at home here against the Blue Jackets? And Erik Karlsson now up to 84 points on the season as he continues to lead the way for the Sharks here. And I know it has not been pretty for them overall this year. They're looking for their 20th victory of the season. They only have 6 home wins all year. Luckily, the Blue Jackets only have 7 road victories. So I think it's just kind of the, I guess you could say, lesser of 2 evils approach. Jackets have lost 4 in a row. Sharks have lost 3 in a row. But this is a game they're going to get. The Blue Jackets did win the last time out, January 21st. Sharks get the revenge here. Karlsson, a goal and 3 assists, 4-1 Sharks over the Blue Jackets.
So much good hockey being played tonight.
Yeah, really, really exciting stuff. A couple just on the way out here, a couple basketball housekeeping notes here. So I did mention, we do have the start of the first 4 Dayton, Ohio tonight. 6:40 on True TV. You have A&M Corpus Christi, who has a 16 seed. Geez, at this point must have been 8 years ago at least. Almost took down number 1, was leading at half. Versus Southeast Missouri State. They are 19-16. Corpus Christi 23-10. We're going bonus selections here, Tony, just to get you in the mindset for our bracket selection on Thursday, right before tip-off. You have the pick of the litter here. Do you want A&M or do you want Missouri State?
A&M or Missouri State. Give me A&M.
All right. Have you ever been to Corpus Christi?
No.
All right.
Have you?
No. And I will go with Southeast Missouri State. Oh, always nice taking a nice dog, Tony.
Is it a heavy dog?
I mean, they're plus 3.5.
Okay.
But and the other matchup, a little more appealing. So those were 2 16 seeds. This is 2 11 seeds.
Okay.
9-10 True TV. Mississippi State 21-12, 2.5 point favorites over Pitt. So what are you thinking here, sir?
Mississippi State.
Wow. Decisively, or?
Yeah, I think so, dude.
MSU, and I will gladly take Pitt, who I feel like, in a tough Atlantic Coast Conference, performed admirably this season. One thing that's a shame, and I know it's not that much of a local flavor here, but Rutgers, didn't make the NCAA tournament. Even after defeating number 1 Purdue, second year in a row. they were pushed to the NIT, so they're actually hosting Hofstra tonight. So that's interesting from the barn in Piscataway. So it'll be interesting to see if Steve Peichel, who's done one of the better coaching jobs in America, can rally the troops this year. But a lot of NIT action underway. Now, if you were, because NIT obviously is the top alternate tournament, Tony, to the NCAA tournament. In some programs decide to skip. I believe it was it you? I think UNC skipped the NIT. They were in the national title game last year, but didn't make the tournament. Would you ever skip the NIT? Like, let's say you're a team, you start out the year, you have top 25 expectations, then you don't even make the tournament. Do you still play the NIT? Do you think it's valuable for the future? Or do you think it's more for the programs that are smaller and just looking for any type of success?
This is like, so you can like not make like the NCAA bracket tournament and then still go to NIT.
Oh, yeah. There's actually 2 other tournaments other than the NIT.
Really?
They are less, kind of known. They used to do the finals at MSG, but they stopped doing that this year.
I mean, I would say, hey, like, you're out of the NCAA tournament. Why wouldn't you? Play more basketball. You can try and win something, but like get some more basketball in. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, like a perfect opportunity. You look at a program like Yale. They've made it the occasional NCAA tournament, but they don't have too much success this year. 21-8. They're playing in Vanderbilt tonight. I mean, just go for it. I mean,
I would imagine, like, wouldn't you have to commit to one or the other probably like months ago?
No, because it's Selection Sunday. Then it's
so it's all selected the same, like the same,
right? So then it just instantly whoever's not like, let's say the bubble teams for the NCAA tournament, they're all number 1 seeds in the NCAA.
Oh shit, okay. Interesting.
But and I feel like it would be good too for like Sacred Heart, for instance. You know what I mean? They get into in all these tournaments, really. The first rounds are on campuses, so they get the higher seed. Like, that would be exciting. I think people would go to the game, but unfortunately, they were under 500 this year, the men, right?
Yeah.
Any hope there
for the men?
Yeah.
We mentioned the few younger guys,
your guys.
Nico Gillette,
top scorer. Nico Gillette.
Yeah, Nico Gillette is top scorer.
Is he thinking NBA or no?
I don't think so.
Overseas?
Probably, maybe. But yeah, I mean, I guess there's some hope there. There's some murmuring about Latina as the head coach.
Who?
Anthony Latina.
Who's that?
He's the men's head coach.
Yeah. Oh, that he might get canned?
Yeah. I mean, he's just been with the team forever, and it's just like
same thing every year.
Yeah, kind of, dude. He says it's so many different. It's tough, dude. We had like like my freshman, sophomore. I forget the kid's name, but he led college basketball in scoring. Like,
when you were a freshman.
Yeah, when I was like a freshman. And then like sophomore year, he transferred, I think, either to Seton Hall, or to Duke. And like then the following year, like our second best player transfers out. We had this really big dude, EJ Anasicki. He transferred to Tennessee. So I mean, like it's just tough because any good player that emerges out of Sacred Heart, it just seems you just like transfer to a bigger school.
Well, the transfer portal. And then it doesn't help too, though. I mean, I'm looking at this right here. So since he took over 2013, 1 winning season in 2019, they went 2013, still didn't make the postseason. So he hasn't made postseason plays, been the coach for 10 years. And this is off the heels of being the assistant under Dave Bike, who was the program's head coach for 35 years. He was the assistant for 8. And it's just not been able to replicate that.
Yeah, dude. So super tough. And it's a shame because he is a great guy.
Yeah.
Obviously, interviewed him, had many interactions with him too for the broadcast and stuff. And he's always so great. I don't know, dude. It's just kind of tough. I think it might be time to look for a new coach, dude.
But you think maybe one more run, get everyone riled, sell out the Pitt Center opening night next season?
Sell out, dude. Sell out the Pitt Center.
Do you think Gillette stay? Or maybe I'm
Nico Gillette.
Do you think he stays?
Yeah. He's not going to go anywhere else, I don't think. And I want to say he's going to be a junior next year. So,
he could win Conference Player of the Year potentially.
Yeah, sure, dude.
But my thing is, you're in a 1-bid league. I understand it's tough, but you got to have a better record. You know what I mean? You don't need to be littered with NCAA tournament appearances. We get,
and they had some bad losses against teams they should have beat.
Yeah. I guess I could just look on ESPN. I couldn't get what exactly the record was. This Wikipedia didn't update, but What do you think about what Matthew said here? Former Ranger Carlson? What is
Yeah,
he
no, I was just looking
referring
at
to
that.
there?
If he's referring to Eric Carlson,
No, not Eric Carlson.
maybe he's
John Carlson's been on the Caps his whole career as well.
Right.
Is there another? Because remember I said that to you a long time ago. I was like, wasn't there a Carlson on the Rangers?
Carlson,
and it could be spelled the other way too.
I know, it's so annoying. Carlson. What happened to Eric Carlson? We know about Eric Carlson. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Carlson, NHL. I don't think that. I mean, maybe back in the day, Carlson's 20th goal assist.
You try the other
Carlson,
spelling,
like
with a C, yeah, and just like no two S's, like just one.
Really?
That's how John Carlson spells it.
John Carlson. We know about him. I mean, he's never been on the Rangers. He's been a career Capital, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it must be worth thinking of when we were watching.
No, I mean, he does mean Eric Carlson.
No,
Eric Carlson, Ottawa.
But did he play against the Rangers in the playoffs on Ottawa? Like
Eric
back
Carlson?
in like the run to the finals? Like, did they play Ottawa or no?
No.
They never played Ottawa? Oh, but they definitely played Washington. So
yeah.
I think that's because I thought the same thing. I think that's what we're thinking of.
Yeah, maybe. Perhaps.
Maybe he's been there that long. I was just looking at this too. So yeah, they ended up finishing 16-17. So yeah, another losing season, 8-8 in conference play, but got completely. Well, actually, not as embarrassing as I thought, but still, they lost by 11 to Merrimack to end the year.
Yeah, it was tough, dude. And then Merrimack, I don't know if I told you this already, but how screwed up is that? I think they won the NEC.
Oh, but the 5-year.
But because they were just
Fairleigh
Division
Dickinson.
3, Fairleigh Dickinson, advanced.
Fairleigh Dickinson's better though. No, I know Merrimack won the regular season conference. Yeah,
like what are we doing, dude?
No, well,
that's so stupid.
It's got to be one or the other. Either they can't play in the conference tournament, or they're eligible for the NCAA. It can't be, in between like that. Then traded him to Pittsburgh.
Oh no! He's not. It's not Carlson. It's Oh my gosh. He's talking about the short dude, with the low flowy blonde hair. Damn it, dude. Damn it. It's so funny. Rangers roster. Carl Hagelin. That's who you're thinking
Carlson, Carl.
Hagelin.
That's what it is.
Carl Hagelin.
Yeah,
bro. Yeah. Carlson. That's his name. No,
wow.
It's Carl Hagelin. He was a good player.
Yes, dude.
Super shifty, very speedy. I think he went to play for Pittsburgh and then Anaheim, and I don't even know where he is. I don't think he's in the league anymore, dude, which is a shame because he was such a good goal. He was almost like a Mika Zibanejad before Mika Zibanejad for us. He's in the Capitals right now. Well, he's in the Capitals right now. 21-22, that's us. No, we're in 22-23 season.
Yes.
So no.
Inactive
player, dude.
One other thing I was just going to mention here to wrap up, and I'm not sure if Michael wanted you to put this one in there, but I saw it was on our title. Giannis, 48 last night, was it?
I threw that, yeah. 40.
That wasn't
46 point.
That wasn't per Michael's instructions?
No, that was me, dude. I was looking up, big headlines, NBA, 46 point double-double. There was a big tussle at the end of that game, too. It was Bucks, not Nets.
Kings.
Bucks, Kings, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I think it's frustrating for the Kings because, they led by 5 after the first quarter, ended up losing 133-124. And they've had a great year. I mean, it's been so long that they've been in the dumpster. So Mike Brown, the former Cavs and Lakers coach, has really done a good job here of rebuilding that team. And I think the Halliburton for Sabonis trade is really what changed that team there because they were so guard heavy. So to have that presence down low, he had 23 and 17 last night. We know what De'Aaron Fox does. He had 35. Even former Hawk Kevin Huerter had 28 points, 8 of 11 from 3-point range, but not enough in the loss. You mentioned Giannis, 46 points, 12 rebounds. So another great game for him. Middleton had 31 and Brook Lopez, 23 points, 8 rebounds. And I think he's the one that got in the fight with De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
And I think both were ejected if I'm not mistaken there.
Correct.
But I just think, listen, we saw Boston last night lose to the Houston Rockets. And I know we don't talk about this stuff too much. But let me tell you, you can pencil in the Milwaukee Bucks into the NBA Finals. There is nothing, Tony. There's absolutely nothing stopping that from happening.
One of my students yesterday said that he expects the Lakers to make it, dude.
The Lakers are in the West, so I was just referring to the East. That's why, you got to be careful with your words, Tony. So,
but what do you think about the Lake? Like, what do you think about he said that the Lakers are going to be in the finals, dude?
There's so much uncertainty. They play tonight against New Orleans, who, what else? Zion, of course, not playing, and neither is LeBron, still coming back from the injury. So obviously he needs to be healthy. Right now they are 10th in the West, so that last spot in the play-in. I mean, they have to play their best basketball. There's no margin for error. That loss to the Knicks, I believe it was on Sunday, stung a little bit. So I think it's going to be tough for them to get to the NBA Finals, just because you're going to have to play play-in games, eliminate one game elimination, then have series, then have 3 series before you get to the NBA Finals. I think that is a big ask. So I wouldn't think so. I hope so, but it really all depends on LeBron. I mean, if he comes back healthy, ready to go, then I think there's a sizable opportunity there. It's interesting too with Durant. They only played 3 games, then got injured in warm-ups. I don't know if he'll make it back before the end of the regular season. So, are they going to be able to just turn a switch? There's a lot of expectation. I think the Warriors have the 3rd shortest odds as to win the NBA title, despite this is not a typo, 7-26 road record.
Oh my gosh, dude.
29-7 at home. This doesn't make any sense, dude. Like, what are you, not motivated because people aren't yelling your name as you're running? And they probably still are. Steph Curry and Draymond and Clay. I mean, those guys have been around for a while.
Yeah, that is pretty odd, dude.
So the meat of the Western Conference, 4, 5, and 6, Suns, Warriors, Clippers. I don't know. I think, what was it? Wilbon, I was watching a little NBA last night, was talking about on Countdown how, Kawhi can't even put 2 games together. How is he coming? How are they making it to the finals? So,
right.
Denver currently won. They don't get a lot of talk. Jokic, obviously unbelievable. Memphis, the whole Ja situation, counseling in Florida. So we'll see when he comes back.
That's crazy. Jerry spent $50,000 in tips at the strip club?
Yeah, and the guy said he's welcome back anytime.
Oh, well, obviously.
Well, usually, someone comes with a gun to your nightclub, you're not, saying that, but
I'm sure he wasn't the first guy. Come on, dude. Let's be real. Probably a lot of guns going in.
No, he obviously tipped him very well for him to say that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And obviously you like to see that. The guys they're well off, you want to see them sharing the love.
And also, good job with Ja. Supporting a local business.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. No, and I honestly, I've always been a fan of Ja. I just hope he's going to be all right.
Yeah, he's fucking up, though.
I hope that he didn't throw it all away. Do you think that he still has a very good shot to really completely rebound from this and have it be within a couple of years where we're not talking about this? Or it has to be flawless. He can't have any more mess ups. Don't mess up. Like that.
Yeah. This is it, dude. I wouldn't say it's a very good chance, but he's going to get a second opportunity.
Right.
Which many people,
don't.
In their lives don't, and they still wish to have that one. So, again, I just hope he realizes that, that's
right.
That is what he needs to do in order for him to kind of rebound here. So,
yeah, we will see. And I believe, Tony, other than that, we have a Oscars review show coming up at 12 or no?
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure.
We got screen time. Oscars just happened this past Sunday. Pretty big night for the Oscars, night for cinema, the Oscars, the awards.
You seem like you were excited about it.
Honestly, I'm not really that excited about it.
No,
I don't really think it means a whole ton. To have movies that are nominated, like,
that all suck,
I really no, it's not even that they're
good.
all suck. Like some of them are like shouldn't have won. Some of them shouldn't have been nominated. But I'm more interested in breaking down a little bit of what I think kind of should happen. And but really what probably is a bigger headline, season finale, Last of Us. Watch that, dude. Little Mermaid trailer just dropped. The Bear season 2 trailer just dropped. So a lot of news, a lot of stuff to go over. Gonna be a good episode. I'll be here in studio. Jay will be on the telephone. And it's gonna be a great time, dude.
Manny getting patched in or no?
No, Manny's on assignment, dude.
Because I saw on Twitter he wanted to call in.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think he was trying to, but it seems like less than likely. The schedule,
Dog can't get him a landline out there.
No. Oh my god.
What would you say though, just to wrap this up? Out of all those things you just mentioned, I mean, what movie or thing are you most excited to talk about?
Honestly, I'm probably most excited to talk about The Bear season 2.
The Bear. Okay.
It was on Hulu. It's like it's about a chef in Chicago, dude. Great storyline. I would say one of the more surprisingly good things I've watched this whole year.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect much, but it was super good. Phenomenal first season. The actor didn't won an Emmy to be a best actor. He had a great performance. So honestly, that's what I'm most stoked for, because season 2, I'm like very interested to see what they do with it.
Right.
So
right.
I'm stoked for that.
And then you got the ESPN app loaded for the Ranger game later. Or?
Oh yeah, dude.
Maybe Michael drives. You can watch it on the way back.
Yeah, I'll probably drive, I'm sure. I wasn't doing the radio though. Don on the call.
Yeah, Don on the call is nice.
It really is. He's so smooth. He definitely knows what he's talking about. Obviously, maybe Metro put it on one of their TVs.
Because I forgot what time is that at?
The
Metro?
The Metro 7:00.
Oh, okay. So is it like 7 to 9? Like basically when the game's going on? More or less.
Hopefully a little bit earlier, dude.
Hopefully a little earlier.
Get home for the third period.
I'm guessing. What do you get there around 6:15?
Yeah, probably like 6:15. Set up, whatever, dude. Hang out.
You think they'll have a full spread for you this time? Or?
I'm not expecting it.
Yeah.
You never go in expecting it, dude.
So you go in full and, I could go for a little bao bun. Sure.
Yeah. Oh, always go for a little bao bun.
Oh, my God.
Always.
I don't know how anybody doesn't like those, to be honest.
I've never heard of anyone who doesn't.
The one thing I'll say just with broth bowls in general, though, I feel like it bothers my stomach. Though. I don't know if it's just like
really
too much stuff. Like it tastes so good.
Yeah.
Like the taste is unbelievable. You feel healthier. It's a bunch of vegetables, light proteins, but definitely like, I don't know. It's just, it's a lot at once.
Really? Honestly, for me, dude, I hammer it and
and you're fine.
Yeah. I'm like ready to go out drinking sort of deal. It's great.
Wow. But next day he must have a little trouble, I would imagine.
Why would I have trouble next day?
Oh man, we're just having a good time. But anyway, Tony, what a day. Another great show. And we really appreciate everybody tuning in and continuing to comment, like, and subscribe, and checking out the archives on the YouTube page. Tony, Michael, Renee in costume. The merch, the spring collection is here, downtimetv.com.
Oh, yeah.
We want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy screen time. Let's go Rangers.
Go Rangers.
And we will see you.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.